Hello and welcome to 15 Minute Gamer. This is, of course, No Man's Sky. Now, unusually for me, this is narration over a video. I know, it's off the PlayStation 4 footage. It hasn't come out for PC yet. I decided to get it for PS4 instead. I only pre-ordered it last night. I was kind of like, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know if to pre-order it or not pre-order it. I was worried the hype was going to be better than the game, and it is. And do I regret buying it? A little bit. We're going to come into that though. We're going to cover lots of things on this 15-minute video. So this is just 15-minute video. It's not showing anything in particular. It's just showing, you know, a bit of flying. Here I'm going into a spaceport, a bit of planetary stuff. I think there's a bit of shooting in it instead as well. So kind of just covers all bases. It's just so basically you don't have to just listen to my voice is about it. So yeah, No Man's Sky is a game you may have heard of. May have been the operative word. Jesus Christ, I don't think there's been a game hyped as much as this game. I've not known a game like it. I really can't think of another example. I mean, the only other example I can think of that'll get close to this is if Half-Life 3 ever gets announced. This was just crazy. And yeah, it got me on board, I must admit. Finally it did. On the final day it got me to buy the game, so the hype train does work sometimes. So yeah, this bit here that you're looking at now, basically you need space station, you meet NPCs. There's a couple of different races, and they'll ask for different things. If you give them stuff, they'll be nicer to you and give you extra bits and bobs, and I presume not kill you when they see you. I've met 5 aliens so far in the game, and it's a good job there because the game world is pretty much dead. So when you kind of find one of these guys, you're kind of like, oh my god, there's something to do, someone to see. And this thing that I'm on now is basically how you trade in it. You can sell stuff you've mined or accumulated, and you can buy stuff off them as well. So you'll find them in space stations. I think every galaxy has a space station, and you'll also find them on the ground as well. So when you go down, you'll also find them on the ground. And these little space stations, there's not much to do. There is doors to go into, and you got to have some sort of like hacking module to get into it. I've built one, but I haven't used it yet. This footage here, I'm not too much further on from this. I think I'm just about to make another hyper jump away from this sector at the moment, because I've kind of done everything I need to do. So yeah, I was just exploring if there was anything to do on the other side of here, and there isn't. So while I'm doing some walking around, well, I'm going to lock that door in a minute. That's the ship on the ground. So see that crappy looking ship there? That's the one you start off with. You can buy other ships. Now, I had a little look here of how to do this. I was like, ooh, another ship. I'm going to go and see how to buy that. Not in this playthrough, but I have about 100,000 credits on it. The ship that I wanted to buy was 900,000 credits. I was like, that's ridiculous. So at the moment I've got to kind of stick with this crappy spaceship. So we're now looking at traveling. So this is how you travel from planet to planet. It takes ages. As you can see, that planet there is so many minutes away. I've started up I think it's called the pulse drive. And you just travel there. You can't steer when you pulse driving. You can just kind of do that. So I've had to, if you see there, I kind of had to stop and readjust where I needed to go. And you'll see me getting closer and closer and closer. But there's nothing to do. There's literally nothing to do on your way there. And some of the planets are bloody miles away. And hitting the timing is pretty hard as well. Like, it'll stop when you're about to crash into it. But obviously you don't want to crash onto the wrong side of the planet. You want to kind of get to the right side of the planet. So, and then I'm about to hit an asteroid. Them asteroids can be mined, so what you can do is if you shoot them, you'll get fuel for your engines and iron, that sort of thing. Typical game you'd expect with these sort of elements in, to collect resources as you go around. How it kind of works in space, it's stuff for your spaceship, so it's iron, it's I can't think of what it's called, but it's like it's like, I can't think of what it's called. It's got a funny name, something 9. And on the ground is generally stuff for you to survive on, so carbon, that sort of thing. So you've got an infantry on your spaceship, your spacesuit, and your gun also has a kind of infantry space to it. And you've got certain things you have to keep going while you're walking around on the planet or flying. So walking around on the planet, you got to look after things like life support and your suit health. And when you collect resources, you can put them into it to make them charge again. When you're in space, for your spaceship, you got to think of things for fuel for it. So you got to have pulse drive fuel, hyperdrive fuel, and takeoff fuel as well. So every time you take off, it uses some fuel. Even if you just want to take off and have a look around, that costs fuel. Each planet is, as you can see here, I'm just making my way to a waypoint. It's quite big. There's in between on each planet, there's probably about 4 or 5 kind of points. So things like, there might be a base, there might be a comms place to find. There may be this, which was a manufacturing factory. So as you can see, it's got a steel door. I've got blasted open. On every single planet, when you start firing at things, these sentinel drones come and get you, and they're really irritating. In space, it does it as well, where if you're trying to mine something, you'll get pirates after you just because you're firing and collecting stuff, and it's a little bit annoying because you're just trying to collect resources, and every 2 seconds you get these stupid sentinel drones coming after you. You can't run away from them though. As you can see, each planet there's a very strange big animal in this one. Each planet looks beautiful. Graphics look really, really good. Very colourful. And the colours do change kind of on each planet. Like, I've seen planets with oceans on them, seen planets with forests, seen planets which are just out on it, just nothing. And what the idea is, you land on the planet, you got to collect your resources so that you can basically get enough resources to fill your hyperdrive to make another jump. So, this is where the problem lies. Really, each planet is just a grinding exercise to get you to the next planet, to the next planet, to the next planet, and the whole point is you're supposed to get to the centre. So you land on the planet, you look around, you do your... If you're into grinding, you're going to love this game. I'm not a massive fan of grinding. So what you're going to do is kind of have a look around. You've got a scanner, and the scanner shows you where things like energy cells are, ores are, that sort of thing, and then you go around and go and get them. So you can see they're marked on your map. The scanner range isn't massive. I presume it can be kind of upgraded like everything else can in the game. And that's what you're doing. You're basically going from planet to planet, having a look around, saving it, claiming the planet for yourself. Once you claim the planet, you can name it whatever you like. And just have a look around. There's species to interact with. The species are procedurally generated as well, I think. So basically, they're kind of like Lego blocks almost, where it kind of looks like you might see the head of one and the body of a different one that you might see on a different planet, but they look different. Like there was one planet I went to where there were flying like rhinoceros things, like they had tiny little wings and they were flying everywhere. That was kind of weird. And there's little ones, big ones. I've not been attacked by any yet, and you can feed them. I don't know what the point of feeding them is. If you feed them, I know they give you gold and stuff, but I don't know what else they give you, so I don't know if there's much point. I don't know if they protect you, like if you get attacked, they might be there to protect you. So you do have animals wandering around. You do have these sentinel drones. I have seen video of a mech on it, so I know you do get a mech attacking you at some point. I don't know if there's guns in the game. You get this multi-tool, which I think is just your gun, like it can be upgraded. And you can buy multi-tools from if you find an alien base on the planet. So usually on the planet there'll be some sort of device to learn languages. There's languages in games and you've got to learn different words from it. You don't do anything, it just says you've learned the word for X. There's like some sort of manufacturing base, some sort of like that. There's usually some sort of outpost. And there's usually 2 or 3 other things. So on each planet so far that I've found, there's about 5 things to find. Kind of find them 5 things and you're pretty alright after that. So as you can see here, I'm just kind of firing on them drones. They do take your shields down very quickly, which is a bit of a pain in the arse. And you can recharge your shields on the ship, but when you try and recharge your shields, you're in combat, but the combat doesn't pause. So yeah, I don't like that design feature. There should be a quick button. I haven't found it yet if there is. So yeah, I'm just trying to gain access in that. I get in, and then the drones stop killing me. You have a jetpack for getting around quicker, but mainly just walking. And the distance between things can be massive, and sometimes you think, well, should I just take my ship? But each time you take your ship, you're obviously wasting valuable fuel, and valuable fuel, you know, you've got to collect, so you've got to take that thing. So there, I'm just talking, I just found this, I'm going to get something from it, and it's going to point me in the right direction. When you start, you can basically choose between there's a path already laid out for you, so the quickest route to the centre, or you can just go stuff it. I just want to find my own way to the centre. I've heard it's around about 30-40 hours if you want to go on that route of just doing it like I am. I don't have that much time, so I'll be playing like that. So yeah, to talk about the pros, the graphics are pretty good. I like the sound on it, the music's good. The environments are very varied. There's lots to see and do so far. The negatives kind of outweigh it for me a little bit. There's so many graphical bugs, it's not even funny. Buildings not attached to the ground, rocks not attached to the ground, floating rocks. There's no physics I can see. So if you shoot a rock to mine it, it'll just stay there, which is quite bad. It's also grindy as hell, as I was saying. So basically, you are just going from star system to star system, basically to get resources to go to the next one. Also, it's just dead. The animals are there, but they don't feel like they're there. They just feel like they're kind of knocking around. You do see the odd spaceship flying around, but it doesn't feel to me as in you're on a living, alive planet. It just feels to me like things are put there, and you're just wandering around to find out what's on it, really. And it's not particularly interesting. And you could be there all day gathering resources and stuff, if that's your thing. Infantry space, you run out of space in the infantry straight away. Like within seconds, I was full, and that kind of is improving. And you can upgrade it, but it goes up one at a time. I think you probably need a good 10-15 slots here. The whole point of gathering resources, you're going out there to collect. You want to be a collector. You can't on this game. It kind of stops you. You can see the big dinosaur thing there. So the infantry I didn't like. Combat is space combat is really not very good. I did not enjoy that at all. Ground combat's a little bit better, but if you were basing this game on being a FPS, which luckily it's not, it would be a very, very, very average FPS at best. The shooting mechanics need a little bit of an upgrade, personally, in my opinion. So as you see, I've just flown to another bit here. So it wasn't that far, but that would have taken me a long time to walk. I do like the way the waypoints tell you how long it'll take to get somewhere. I think that's a really good thing, because it's not just like, yeah, it's over there in the distance, or it's 700 meters. Well, how long does 700 meters take me? Well, it's going to take me 2 or 3 minutes. There's plenty of save points. If you die, a grave gets put in your spot, and you can go back there and collect your infantry, which is I like that. That's really, really good. So I'm just upgrading pack here with another infantry slot. So in my eyes, they're the pros and negatives. If you like your grindy stuff, you can like the game. If you don't like grinding stuff, you're not going to enjoy it, because that's all it is. Would I recommend? I'm unsure at this point in time. I'm enjoying it in a way, but I'm also worried that I've kind of seen what the game has to offer, and it's going to be a bit of a trek to get to the end. So I hope you've kind of enjoyed this video. That's just a few points of my own. If you agree or not, comment below and just let me know what you think. If you're enjoying the game, let me know. If you're not enjoying it, also just give me a little shout and just let me know what you think, because I've never been a fan of grindy games, and I didn't think it was that. I thought it was going to be full of crafting, building. You can make a home world, you can make ships. I'm not seeing any of that yet, and I don't think it's in there, which is a huge shame if it's not, because this game had a lot of potential to be the best of everything, and I do worry it's not going to be. However, the sheer scale, size, depth of how big the solar system is, or the universe, is amazing. It's such a big place. The planets are massive, and if you enjoy exploring, you're going to enjoy that. So I hope you're all enjoying it. I am going to keep playing it. I've played for about 3 or 4 hours now, so I can say that and give an early impressions. I will be back with a later impressions video when I've played more, maybe on the 10-12 hour mark time, and hopefully I can give a sort of better indication of what it's like. So I really hope you've enjoyed it. I'll be back with more videos. There'll be lots more recording going on, and I'll catch you all later. Bye bye.